Hi everyone, Emily here with Curate the Details, and I'm starting a new online business making home decor and household items, mostly from concrete. It's been really interesting, so I thought I would share what my experience has been, what I've learned, what the process has been. I'm going to break my videos up into two items. So one the business side and the other is mold making. So custom molds like these, silicone molds. I want to learn how to create custom molds so that I can make custom concrete products. So let's dive in. A great place to start the process of looking into starting your own business is the Small Business Association, or SBA.gov. They have a very formal and extensive approach, giving you lots of information. They have a web page titled 10 Steps to Start Your Own Business, which I will link in the description. In this video, I'm going to talk about numbers 4 through 6, and then in the next video, I'll do 7 through 10. I will say that number 2, write your own business plan. I didn't find that was necessary for me because I'm opening just a small shop with just me. If you're trying to get a loan, then you'll need to have a business plan, okay? So I'm showing you now the general framework of content I'm going to talk about in this video. These are the topics that I reviewed, that I looked at, that I really thought through in the very beginning when considering to start a business. So they're big picture sort of foundational items, okay? So the first one is, what do I want to sell? And when I say that, I mean, did I want to sell products or services, retail or wholesale? I knew right away I didn't want to do wholesale because the margins are too small. And then, as I mentioned before, I'm making concrete-based items, so I'm selling products. The next section is all about the specifics, and this is a pretty robust section. I started off with assessing, okay, so how much knowledge and experience do I have regarding concrete products? And the answer was 0, nothing. So I needed to do a lot of research and collect information about the process for creating concrete items, looking at YouTube videos, blogs, all kinds of internet content. And I knew that I needed to address safety concerns if there was any for myself or my customers. So for me, I knew that with concrete, I had to have a well-ventilated space. I needed to protect my lungs. In terms of customers, I wanted to look at, well, is what I'm creating maybe going to burn somebody, which it won't, or cut them, things like that. Those are other things I addressed. The next section is really where I'm living right now. And this is the design section. It's designing products, developing them, lots of trial and error and practice runs. And since my learning curve was so steep, I'm living in this section a lot. I will say that I decided when I have 3 to 5 really good products, then I will go live with my business. I just kind of found that number because I thought only having 1 or 2 products is not enough, and as many as 8 to 10 seemed too much for just starting my business out. So once I've decided on the 3 to 5 products that are really great, I'm happy with, then I'm going to give them to family and friends because I'm hoping that I'll get a lot of feedback. And that's basically my pivot point to make adjustments. Okay, so the next thing that I looked at was, where do I want to sell? So do I want to sell at a brick and mortar location? Do I want to sell at a local farmers market, special events, online? And for me, the answer was pretty simple. I was just going to do online. The last section, the legal and fun stuff, and I do mean fun stuff. I thought this was a really great process. Started off with, I need to choose a business structure. And these are the most common business structures that the IRS recognizes. I knew right away I was going to either have a sole proprietorship or a limited liability company. And I really knew that I was going to have an LLC, but I'll go over, my process for this exercise. So the SBA says this about LLCs. LLCs protect you from personal liability in most instances. Your personal assets, like your vehicle, your house savings, won't be at risk in case your LLC faces bankruptcy or lawsuits. The IRS talks about LLCs as being allowed by state statute. And here's the little caveat they say. Each state may use different regulations, and you should check with your state if you're really interested in starting an LLC. I wanted to, of course, limit my personal liability. So it was a no-brainer that I would create an LLC for Curate the Details. If you want to learn more about any of these business structures, I'm going to include links below to both the IRS and SBA. And I'm going to circle back in another video to share the process of me obtaining my LLC for Curate, and I'll share screens and all that good stuff. The last section I'm talking about today is choosing a business name. Wow, this was a complicated process for me. So as I mentioned, I knew that I wanted to sell online. And so I had to start by thinking about, okay, do I want to have more than one place that I sell online? Where do I want to sell online? Where do I just want to have a presence online? And I knew from the little research that I did that if I sold on a marketplace like eBay, Amazon, Etsy, that it was more complicated in terms of registrations and licenses I had to get. So I didn't want to do that. So I decided that I'll just get a website and sell it on my own website, but that I wanted to have a presence on the social media sites, Instagram, Facebook, and probably TikTok. Because I knew that I wanted a website and those social platforms I just mentioned, I decided that I wanted a consistent name throughout all the platforms. I didn't want to have anything different. I started by trying to figure out what type of names were out there, other businesses that were similar to mine, what were their names, just doing general research on the internet. And then I started to think about and define different names that I would like. So I hopped on GoDaddy.com. And of course, pretty much every single website that I entered was not available. In the beginning, I wanted inthedetails.com. That wasn't available. So it would offer me inthedetails.biz, inthedetails.info, inthedetailsco.com, like for company. And I didn't want any of those. I just wanted a .com website. I spent a lot of time searching the availability. And when I finally found like, I don't know, 5 to 10 websites that were available, then I started searching across the different platforms to see what of those 5 to 10 names were also available as users on those platforms. And that took a long time because maybe, you know, one username on TikTok was available, but it wasn't on Facebook, or it was available on Facebook, but it wasn't on Instagram, that kind of thing. When I finally narrowed down a name that I really liked that was the same on URLs and social media, then I went to my Secretary of State's website for Idaho to make sure the name was available. I didn't search to see for emails like Gmail accounts and things like that, because I knew whatever website I got, I would pay for the package that I would get an email with it. So like if I had gotten inthedetails.com, I would have paid for an email that would have been info@inthedetails.com. That is going to conclude for this video. As I mentioned, in the future, I'm going to create a video just regarding registering my LLC, registering the business, licenses, the EIN number, you know, tax ID, all that good stuff. So hopefully this has been helpful, and I'll see you soon.